Go ahead.
David, hindsight's obviously 2020, but I believe you had a timeout there.
Yeah.
There late. Can you just kind of explain the thought process on letting it ride?
Yeah, multiple reasons. In transition, I thought we had a chance to get an open three. I mean, numbers were going the other way. Traditionally, they foul up three. I thought we'd get the best opportunity. I thought CV was open when he caught it to shoot it. And then obviously off the offensive rebound, my first instinct was to call timeout, but the ball came to Nikola. And I did not think we could get him a good catch if they're going to foul. And if I called the timeout, then we have none left after that. So it's a tough situation. When you get runouts like that, a lot of times in our league with guys falling down and the numbers, you can find a three that way. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Looking back, if I watched the film, watched the tape, I have to see what the situation was. On CB's catch, once he didn't shoot it, I could have called it. Maybe that's the one thing I look back on, wondering, maybe I should have called it there.
Coach, when you look at, it got to be a physical game
Yeah.
at different points. Did you think that affected Nikola? He uncharacteristically 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Did that play a part in it? Or did you feel like the way that game was unfolding, it was the way they were playing definitive and the game was being called affected him?
Maybe. I thought their defensive rotations were good. We had to look back at our spacing. I didn't think our spacing, on the backside was good enough to take advantage of them bringing 3-4 people across the court. If they're going to do that, we have to find the open man on the weak side and take advantage of it. I didn't think we did that enough. And they zoned up the backside. Kawhi made a big play at the end, getting a steal. So again, you look back at the tape, they made adjustments. We have to do the same thing, make sure we get him in space properly. We had a lot of good looks too, and you can't miss 8 free throws in games like this. That was a killer. And obviously the points off turnovers, just like in game one, we won that battle, and tonight they won that battle. And they, games like this, a grind, and the possessions are so tough. Those easy baskets going the other way are such a killer. We had the loose ball turnover towards the end. Just seemed like every time we got back in it, tied it, took the lead, a multitude of mistakes would follow that. And once you have momentum, you can't have mistakes like that. Get them right back to where they were before, up 3, up 5, up 6. Just felt like it was uphill all night.
What did you see from Kawhi tonight?
He was incredible. It was one of those things too. He had 39, and shot the ball so efficiently, but they only scored 105 points. And so it was a tough, if we come and get him and Norman gets going, you're rotating to James now in a closeout. And so you're playing a tough game there, because if you make a decision to go hit him, you are saying, open shots are somewhere. But to his credit, over contested hands, made some incredible shots. We know what he is. He's an all-time player. But another thing, we have to watch the film and say, hey, how can we do better? We can do better than that. But to his credit, I give, he was awesome tonight.
Your take on MPJ and his physical nature and going to the boards?
Yeah, he was better tonight. And got hit a huge 3 to tie it. We were trying to sneak him back out after the timeout play. Obviously Michael really stretches the floor, and the way that they were guarding, bringing 3 and 4 people to one side of the court. We have to find a way to make Mike an impact player in those situations if they're willing to leave and rotate, and we can do better. Looking at the tape, I thought we did a better job in game 1, and in game 2 they made adjustments, and we have to look at it and find a way to make Mike an impactful player if that's how they're going to guard.
David, how much does it hurt just losing home court advantage, leaving here 1-1 instead of 2-0?
I thought this series would be like this. Both really good teams. We both, throughout the season, had ups and downs, but now we're both healthy and going at it. I know how good of a team they are, and I think we can go down there and win. I really do. And the series always felt like it was going to be like this. Both games were such a grind. I'm sure they're sitting there saying we should have won game 1, and we'll probably watch a tape and go, man, we had a chance to win game 2. And so that's what it's going to be like. We have to bring our focus, be connected, take the day tomorrow to get mentally right, physically right, prepare, fly to LA and get a win.
Yeah, on your right here. I know it might be nitpicking, and he went 4 of 8 from 3, but is Joker passing up threes that you maybe wish he would take instead of getting into the action that way?
Yeah, we'll watch the tape with him. I think sometimes when he drives and kicks, it leads to easy baskets, wide open looks from 3 for other people. And to their credit, when he drove it, they did a good job of bringing people, but also zoning up passing lanes. And, he's a professional, as professional as it gets in our league, so he'll watch the tape just like we do. And if he feels like to win the next game, he's got to take more shots, I know he will. But again, he had a triple-double. It flipped the script. Kawhi had 7 mistakes last game. Nikola did this game with all the different defenses being thrown at both players. So we'll help him, see the tape so he can play in space better and make the decisions he wants to make.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what went into your decision to play Nikola the entire second half?
Yeah, we started the fourth, and I asked him, how he was feeling. The original plan was to play him the first couple minutes of the fourth, first 2 or 3 minutes, get him out to finish. But we made a run, and the intensity was high, and it felt like that group had a lot to give. Rest defensively. And it was the same thing with Christian. I brought Christian in later than I wanted to, but that group was rolling a little bit, and then Mike came in for Peyton and made an impact offensively. So it just didn't feel right to take him out. Obviously, there's communication going on with him. Where you at? How you feeling? Same thing with Aaron. Running that whole quarter. So it just felt like that kind of game, man. Like we had a chance right there. I didn't want to take him out. They go on a 6-0 run. Now I'm calling timeout. I got 1 left with 6 minutes to go. So it just was a feel thing for me.
Coach, do you feel now that you've seen them twice, the Clippers, and know what they can present, does it make it a little bit easier in a way for the game 3 that some of their strategies and know how to prepare for them?
Yeah, for sure. And I think on the flip side of that is, hey, what worked in game 1 didn't work in game 2 for us in certain ways. And we have to take a look at that and not necessarily change everything, but just do it better. So everybody, across the board, stay connected, watch the film. We have 2 days to prepare for a big game, game 3. So, yeah, I think both teams will feel like that. We've both seen a lot of things we're trying to accomplish out there. But, man, I just have extreme confidence in the group. And like I've been saying, since I took over this saying, just stay connected, ups and downs. We're going to see a lot of different things in the playoffs. This is a high level series. So we knew that coming in, and I'm excited for game 3.
Hey, Jamal, they said maybe on the TV broadcast that you were dealing with some sort of illness. You don't look like you're feeling great, and that's when you were in the seats. How are you feeling, and I guess how hard was it to push through whatever you're fighting?
I played through it. It was cool. I'm sick, but it's okay. No excuses. I played through it.
Jamal, the late game execution from you guys, just a couple missed opportunities. What did you see out there?
Just exactly that. I felt like when we got a stop, we just had a couple missed opportunities. Even when I almost turned it over, I think AG missed a dunk because he was looking at the shot clock. Got a stop. Mike turned over. Like those ones really hurt. And I think I had a turnover somewhere in there. We just got to take care of the ball, especially when we get a stop. Can't give it right back. But we definitely had a chance to win the game. So now our mind switched, and we gotta go to LA with an attack mindset and get one of these games.
Do you feel like it'll continue to be physical, and can you just kind of describe what happened with you and Norman there, where you
Just competing, man. I have nothing against Norman, man. He has nothing against me. We're just competing, and we got into it for a second. Well, we're good though.
But you feel like that's kind of the nature of this series? It's just going to be like that?
No, I mean any series. You can look at any basketball that's been played in the playoffs. It's going to be like that. And like I said, we have nothing against each other. We respect each other, and we just didn't like what we both did on the court, and that's fair.
You guys have faced Kawhi before in the bubble, and obviously several years. Just when he gets kind of into that mode where he's making contested shots, just is there anything that can be done just in a one-on-one sense to kind of disrupt him like that?
Yeah, just try to give him give him a different look, and not let him get to his spots. Not necessarily what the game is about, just getting to your spots. And tonight he got to spots, and even when we're there, he made some tough shots, and that's what great players do. So he had a night, he got going, and he was tough to stop along the stretch. But like I said, we had chances to ice the game, win the game, stretch the lead to 10, even for the last couple of minutes. So this loss kind of feels like it was on us, given the opportunities that we missed. Everybody.
Just 20 turnovers as a team. They have 20 turnovers on their side. Just it feels like it's going to go back and forth between you guys. Just you knew how competitive this thing was going to happen, like just execution-wise. Just how important is it for every single possession kind of to value the basketball?
Very important.
Jamal, we obviously saw a lot more from Mike tonight. How good was that? Obviously, maybe got a little shaken up at the end, but to see him come in and have such a big impact.
100%. I'm not really worried about Mike. He's going to compete. He's always going to bounce back. He's always going to take that personal, whatever y'all were talking about. So he came in, he made an impact. He was grabbing boards, he was talking, he was just more committed, and he hit a couple big shots, big rebounds, and stuff like that. So I thought he played great. Just would have felt a lot better if we came out with a dub. So, but we didn't.
Anything else? One more right here in the middle.
Jamal, you guys have been really good on the road the last couple of years in the playoffs. So what type of mentality do you guys need to bring to LA?
Just didn't come until I just got to hit first and play fast, and I play with some confidence. You know what I'm saying? Kind of take the life out of the gym. We're just gonna go out there and play hard. That's what the game's about. Like so, the stat sheet, everybody misses shots and stuff like that, whatever. But just playing hard is not on the stat sheet. So I think if we just do that, play physical, and like I said, be confident on the road. We can replicate what we've done in past years and get the job done.
Thanks, Jamal.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Nikola, just can you kind of take us through the final sequence where you guys get the ball back, don't call a timeout, and just try to get the ball up and get it through as quickly as possible?
I mean, it was good. I think it was good, like, especially in those situations. If you can advance the ball, I think that's the right call. Just because probably if we call a timeout, they had a foul to give. So are we gonna really have a lot of time? So I think we had a CB miss. Maybe I should give to Jamal. He had like a momentum, but in those situations, it's really hard to think about it.
Nikola, tvoj 19. triple-double na playoffima, 26 pojena, 12 skokova asistencija, ali ovoga puta, evo, nažalost, nadali smo se, bili stalno blizu pobjedi, na kraju nije bilo.
Jeste, stvarno teška utakmica. Mislim da je prava playoff utakmica bila kao i prva utakmica, tako da nismo u nekim momentima smo imali tako neke, da kažem, glupave greške, gde i oni su to kaznili na da li je trojka, da li je neki faul bio koš, tako da zanimljiva utakmica, ali eto, nismo uspjeli ovaj put da pobedimo.
Nikola, večeras navikli ste nas na jako efikasnu igru u plaću posljednjih godina. Večeras su Clippersi bili uspešniji, su nam više problema napravili u odbrani ili u napadu u završnim minutima?
Pa, oni su opet dali 105 pojena za takvu neku ekipu što ima takav arsenal ofenzivni. Mislim da smo koliko toliko, eto Kawhi odigrao stvarno jednu fenomenalnu utakmicu što jeste, oni su stvarno super zvezda. Ali eto, mi nismo uspjeli način ih, kako je kad smo imali otvorene šute, mi nismo ih uzeli, izgubili smo lopte. Tako je neka bila čudna detalji neki koji nismo uspjeli da uradimo neke odluke koje smo svi, pogotovo ja, promašeni, pa imali smo 4, ja sam promašio 2, Ras promašio 1, Mike promašio 1 bacanje u nekim bitnim momentima. Puno takih nekih detalja koje je naotišao na njihovu stranu.
Nikola, sorry if they asked this in Serbian, but you guys had 20 turnovers. Is that more?
They didn't ask that.
Is that more? So is that more what they were doing defensively, or on you guys just for not being able to work around?
I mean, they had 20 last game, so it was, I had a lot, especially at late. I had to throw it to Kawhi basically, and then throw it to Peyton like a lob, which was bad. They were definitely aggressive. They were attacking us. They were attacking the ball. They even pre-rotate. They attacked the ball, so they were definitely aggressive in those moments when they kind of rotate and scramble around.
Nikola, how much does the mindset change leaving here tied 1-1 instead of being up 2-0?
I mean, I think we could be down 2-0, so too, and I think we can be up 2-0. So I think it's a great 2 game. We had a great 2 game whatever his name. I think the fans. I think if you're a basketball fan, it's. I think this is probably the best basketball you can watch. It's both ends, like even mistakes, even big plays. Like Kawhi had an amazing game. You have an amazing game by a player. I think that we had a really good 2 games. And if you're a basketball fan, I think it's a pleasure to watch.
There was the sequence in the fourth quarter where the shot clock reset. It looked like you turned around and kind of rushed that shot up.
No, I saw Jamal. I saw Jamal was like shoot, but he was like calm down. So it's a misunderstanding. I saw Jamal like telling me to calm down, but I thought shoot it. So misunderstanding even in that situation, like details, like I said.
And then real quick, you didn't start the game with the sleeve on your elbow, I'm pretty sure. Was that just the right elbow bothering you a little bit?
No, I fall down. I was just another cushion when I bumped with the zoo.
Nikola, you were saying how much respect you have for Kawhi last game. How did he get going tonight, and what type of things can you guys try to do next game to slow him down a little bit?
I mean, he had. I think that he had a night. It's really hard. Maybe we should just make him feel more crowded. But I think he's so used to it. He did make tough shots, but are they really tough shots for him? The guy who is making those for such a long period of time. So maybe we just need to do a little bit more different. Maybe make him just hesitate a little bit more. Let's say like that.
Pat and D-Mac. Nikola, sorry, over here. They were saying that the Clippers were saying that they want to just throw different looks at you, just kind of maybe they're not going to stop you, but they're going to try to just confuse you a little bit. What were they doing differently maybe than they did in Game 1?
I think they are doing different in pick and roll with Jamal. They are sending third body, they are not sending third, so they are switching. They have a personnel for that. I think they have a lot of length, a lot of athleticism. They can do a lot of things, and that's why they're so dangerous team. They can do a bunch of things defensively.
Nikola, you said such a good series, such a tough matchup every game. So at the end of the day, what do you think it'll come down to?
Like details, like I said, turnover, foul if you can, foul guy who doesn't have a high percentage shot, stop the break with a foul. I think those, especially those, like 100 points for NBA is like, let's say, not a lot of points, but I think in those moments, those details matters, and being locked in and a 50-50 ball, like something that little small details.
Well, what's your confidence that you guys can do that?
I mean, we did it the first game, so we didn't do the second game. So, I think that's why it's an interesting series.
Nikola, what's some of the balance for you offensively going forward, having 2 games of data on, kind of how they've guarded you and thrown bodies at you?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I think they're not doing anything differently, just more aggressively, So. I need to adjust. I need to, it's a game to game. It's different. It's different. Sometimes different guys. Sometimes different angles. Sometimes they come in when I don't see it behind the back. So it's a read and react, let's say, situation.
MPJ blamed himself for the loss because that turnover that led to the foul 3 and nobody hurt. What was your reaction to that? Him feeling like he was responsible for the loss?
I mean, we can all say that. I mean, CB can blame himself for missing 3. I can blame myself for a turnover. It's. I think it's just. We can all blame each other, blame ourselves. So that I don't know, is it a good thing or a bad thing? But probably we care, so that's a good thing.
How do the challenges of a 7-game series still excite you?
I mean, it's just because, like I said, I think those 2 I really enjoyed, and in those games, it's really a pleasure to play in really important moments, important games. So minutes, whatever it is, So I think this is why you play. This is why you play.
Take one more for Vinny here.
Nikola, I saw you
chase down Christian, leave him in the locker room. I guess, can you share anything about that, or what do you say to a young guy who misses a big shot like that?
I did what?
You went, Christian was walking out of the locker room, you yelled at him to hang out for a second?
I didn't talk about that.
Well, then, anything, I guess, do you feel like you need to lift him up after a moment like that, being a young guy?
I mean, I don't know. I think you should shoot those shots. You know, it's part of basketball, and he made a big one last what's the name? Last game. So you gotta shoot it. You know, sometimes you miss, sometimes you make.
Thank you, Joker.
It's a pleasure, always.